you're doing it again, aren't you? Dat kan nog gezellig worden, hm? Do-do-da-da-do-do. What's it gonna hit? The goddamn... Oh, shit. You Spiffies are already here. Damn it, Carl, why didn't you warn me? Making me all flustered and shit. Now, before we start, let's... Aha, there it is. Those darn ticklish buttons and bells and all things around it. Now, this might just be a spiffy animation, but it is real important that you actually tickle the bell. Once you tickle that bell, a pop-up will appear. And apparently it's set to default personalized, so you won't get all the videos I upload. And I have seen a drop in views, so I don't know what's going on. Seems like YouTube doesn't like me, because I declared war on them. However, this is not the time or place. Let's just get into the thick of it, shall we? This particular Muslim seems to have an issue with the spookfest we call Halloween. Hashtag not all. Huh? What's that? Yes, I'm covering all my bases here. What are you on about? Because apparently when I do this religious stuff, people somehow get offended. Like I'm talking about them. When it is a well-known fact, I only go after the Sillies. So stop getting offended, otherwise my artillery crew wants to know your location for unrelated reasons.
October 31st was the final day of the year for the Celtic people of the North.
Oh, would you look at that. Right off the bat, we're gonna run into a problem here. Now, Samhain, spelled as Samhain, was a pagan religious festival and was usually celebrated from October 31st to November the 1st. And it was related to welcoming the harvest and also usher in the dark half of the year. Not to mention they believe the barriers between the physical world and the spirit world actually break down during this time, allowing for some form of interaction between the living and the dead, or rather denizens of the other world.
And that day was called the Day of Samhain.
Wow, it's always amazing when you don't do your research. It's so win. But yeah, basically it's spelled like that. I could understand you saying Samhain, but why are we yelling? Really, that's worth a facepalm.
And this individual, wal-iyadhu billah...
Oh, for fuck's sake, we've got one of those here. Getting off on throwing random, I'm guessing Arabic words in there? Dat slaat echt als een lul op een slagroomtaart. What?
Was supposed to be their god of the spirits of the dead, of evil again.
Of the dead, of evil. Yes, I know I'm making fun of the way he talks, but he's recording this. This is the best take he got? There's something called post-processing, but I digress. So, are you now just making up shit? Oh wait, silly me. I think I forgot what I have to deal with here. So, death is now related to evil. Maybe. Now stay with me here, yelling man. It is a way to honor their dead and cope with the loss of their loved ones. Evil schmeevil. Just calling it that doesn't mean anything.
And according to their belief, the evil spirits would rise to the surface and would terrorize people on that evening.
Why do you have to emphasize the evil so much? Yes, Celtic people thought monsters would also come through the spiritual barriers, as well as their ancestors. And as such, they would leave offerings outside their villages, and would also dress up as monsters and ghouls to confuse them. So fairies wouldn't actually take them back with them to the other world, mistaking them for their own ancestors. Those were pretty scary times when people didn't understand certain things. Thusly, mythology surrounding these dark and dreary autumn days would start forming. But what about the southern hemisphere? Because over there, summer and winter are the other way around. So, why are these dates so important? Don't tell me you're a flat earther, because then we're gonna have more fun with you. It's really amusing to me that we are in modern times and you're here trying to peddle your own damn horseshit by demonizing ancient people and their customs. What the hell does that say about you, buddy?
And on that evening, if you did something wrong to a person, they'd come back to get you on that night. So some people would put on a disguise.
Ancient people. That's the key word here, man. I mean, you're pretending here that this is the idea behind Halloween and Hallows Eve. In this day and age. It's not. It really is not. I mean, if you are one of those highly indoctrinated religious people, I can understand, because your mind is still back in the day. Why don't you get back in this day, hmm?
So you couldn't recognize them on October 31st on that evening?
Well, technically you're correct here, but it was to have the demons and the monsters and the ghouls coming from the other world not recognize them. You gotta keep in mind, these are people who basically write things off that happen outside their villages in the darkness as monsters, ghouls and demons. And here you are, a modern day man, still peddling the same shit. Or actually trying to demonize them. What are you doing? And I do believe the official term is horseshit.
and then they would be safe. Also, they would burn fires.
So? Hey, wait a minute. Are you making fun of my campfire here? Anyway, if you're not going to address this any further other than, also they would burn fires, why are we yelling? Allow me to retort. Now, like every society and culture, they have customs. And in this case, the custom was they would let their fireplace burn out in their homes during Samhain while their harvest was gathered. After all the work was done, a holy man, or rather a druid, would light a community fire. It was lit using one of those spiffy spinning wheel things, sparkling fire all over the place. That must have been a sight for sore eyes. This wheel represented the sun. The people gathered around and prayed. Cattle was sacrificed to their gods, as was very common in a lot of societies back then, and every owner of a dwelling would take a flame from the communal bonfire to relight their fireplace. And if you put it like that, it doesn't seem as bad now, does it? It's almost as if you have some kind of agenda to push here.
Now the only thing we find left of that is the jack-o'-lantern that they will put inside of their window, made from the pumpkin.
Well, that was a much later iteration. It was actually the Irish who started to hollow out turnips, rutabagas, gourds, potatoes and beets. They placed a light in this thing so they could ward off evil spirits. And also the Irish have one to keep stingy Jack away.
Ding ding ding! Ding ding ding! Irish noises!
So the jack-o'-lantern was originally something else. Eventually they started using the pumpkin because it is bigger. Or at least that's my theory. You can make a spooky thing out of that. Certainly much more effective at spooking the spooks. But hey, your short sentences are really lackluster in information, mate. Maybe you need to work on that a little bit. Also, I'll be right back.
What actually happened in Europe is that the church moved All Saints' Day, a day for the saints. They moved it from May 13th to November 1st in 1834 AD. And so what they said was that the 31st night is All Hallows Evening. All Hallows Evening.
So, what? Also, I did not double edit. He said it twice.
Which in America later became known as Halloween. Halloween.
Oh, is that so? So, I'm just going down a list of information we can find in history. Also, contrary to popular belief, I don't like to repeat myself.
And they depict the forces of evil.
You really have a hard-on for that word, don't you? And oh my, that's spooky, isn't it?
What is happening now is that the children put on disguises.
Now, is it me or are you not good at the word game? I mean, technically they could be considered disguises, but we actually call them costumes.
They dress as little devils, little witches, as goblins, vampires, anything evil, and they go out, and now with the new American way, they do trick-or-treat.
Don't you mean evil trick-or-treat? And that's not even mentioning there are more popular costumes right now, like superhero costumes or cartoon costumes. It really feels like you are just dwelling on ancient customs.
And they come to your house asking for food.
I think we can clearly distinguish candy from food. I mean, candy is food, but it's technically not good food. It's happy food. That's what kids want. So, they are not out to get food, they are out to get candy.
And some Muslims, they send their little children, and they're in little disguises.
Well, but do you expect them to be wearing big disguises? That would look awkward, mate. I mean, what are you doing? Where are you going with this? This is... well...
How are you gonna dress and go out there? As little devils, little shayateen.
Or superheroes, or cartoon characters, or anime characters. What is a shayateen? You're doing it again, aren't you? Dat kan nog gezellig worden, hm? Oh yeah, I've got nuclear G's, so watch out, buddy.
And so to send a Muslim child out to trick-or-treat is a demeaning, lowering thing. You ask them to beg people for food.
Oh, for fuck's sake, you are really an annoying little dick flute, aren't you? Halloween in this day and age is playing make-believe. Something you should be familiar with. Only difference being is playing make-believe for children. And here you are, an adult male, trying to demonize a children's festival. I don't know whether to feel sorry for you or just be very annoyed at the moment.
Then they're dressed up in as a way that they're not.
Yeah, well, that's the entire idea. Playing make-believe, you're something else. Like a little kid playing make-believe, he's Superman, or Batman, or Goku, Vegeta, or, I got you Marvel girl, Iron Man, Captain America, or any other character from their make-believe world. You know, all the little cartoons they watch on television, the movies they watch, the video games they play, and here you are being a party pooper. Hey, well that seems familiar. If you've seen my latest video. Yeah.
Then, when the candies and things come in the bag, how do you know what it is they actually gave you?
Huh. Well, this concept might be far out, but you look at it.
Is it halal?
Well, holy hell. You actually made a valid point. Apart from the fact that it is still fear-mongering. For some reason. If it isn't halal, you can see it. Just introduce some kind of rule that if it isn't in a wrapper or known candy, you're not allowed to eat it. So you can have your halalal, huh? And no, I'm not dissing your halal food. But there are ways to check it, so what is the problem?
Most of the candies today are made with gelatin. With glycerin. They're made with pork products.
So fucking what? You can check the candy your kid collects, so there is no problem here. You're just out looking for problems, where there are none. If you introduce some kind of rules, don't your kids have rules? Come on now. Not to mention if you don't trust them out and about, just chaperone them. That is a thing. I mean, younger kids aren't supposed to be out alone anyway. Does logic just not exist in your world?
And what is also happening is that there are some evil, wicked-minded people who are attacking children on that night. Really?
Citation needed, you utter, disgusting, a dick flute with your goddamn fear-mongering. Oh boy, those are not words, but those are my feelings. Shut the fuck up, mate. You really are out to make this as evil as possible, hey? What are you? I'm hearing some kind of background noises. Are you, preaching to the choir there? This is just, well, for lack of a better word, pathetic.
And there are literally groups of Satanists who are capturing children, sacrificing the child on that evening of Samhain, supposedly to get more spiritual power.
Wow. Wow. All I have to say to that is citation needed. What the hell is wrong with you, man? Is Halloween such a threat to your way of life that you have to make up shit like this? Is fear the only way to control your kids? You have problems, mate. Go see a psychiatrist or something.
It's happening right now.
Oh yes, of course it is. And you're gonna provide any kind of evidence for that claim you just made. I'm sure.
And so from so many angles, Muslims should have nothing to do with Halloween. And it is important for Muslims to have basira.
So if you don't want to celebrate it, just don't celebrate it. Why do you have this need to do this out of context, out of time, quote mining nonsense? Also, Bajir? What, is that not the bear from Jungle Book? Oh no, wait, that was Baloo. You gotta look for the bare necessities. The simple bare necessities. Why are you so angry?
That they should have the insight to look through affairs. And do not just blindly follow. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, you will follow them.
Yes, because the Prophet, peace be upon him, Prophet, peace be upon him. Which Prophet? Are you talking about Muhammad? And what? Every time someone name drops the fella, you have to say, peace be upon him? That is clearly not some kind of cult behavior.
You will follow the people who came before you inch by inch, foot by foot, even if they crawl into the hole of a lizard.
Alright, calm down. There's gonna be one angry lizard there. And I'm pretty sure he would not be very happy with your fetish? What the fuck is he doing? Muhammad, what is he doing? Oh, you don't want to come out? What is it with you and not coming out of here? I mean, is this some kind of stage fright? Huh? Well, a lot of good you are. I thought you were some kind of manly warlord, but somehow you just want to stay out of the spotlight. Fair enough, I guess.
You crawl inside there with them.
How about no, you crazy lizard enthusiast? For fuck's sake, you just had to do that last one, nah? Anyway, I sent you to be a jester in the order of the Sillies there, the Prophet's Path. I do hope you enjoy your stay. And with that, why don't you go tickle the bell and all buttons around it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Oh boy, Halloween is just a treat that keeps giving, eh? What a tricky situation.